Now we'll be talking about the effects of disaster on children, right? So they asked questions around disaster, childhood disasters. Okay, of course we have the natural disasters, we have the man-made disasters. So they asked students in an exam to define disaster, to talk about what are the types of disasters, and they should mention 5 examples each of the types of disasters. That's natural and man-made. Then you should actually discuss health effects of disasters on children. That's all those malnutrition, do you understand, childhood illnesses and the rest. They should also talk about the psychological effects of disaster on children. That's all those post-traumatic syndrome, PTSD, do you understand? So it's a very nice question that you can actually fetch all the marks here. If you say you should define disaster, one definition that our lecturer like is, you say that there are adverse, there actually there are conditions that actually change the normal way of life, okay, and they go beyond that which the people in that environment can be able to adjust to. Do you understand? It's a very nice thing. I have to actually revise it again. So disaster, the definition I have here, they say that it's a disruptive event. It could be natural or man-made, okay, and it causes widespread destruction, loss of life, injury, most importantly disruption of the normal way of life of a community, and it exceeds its ability to cope using its resources, or you could say it exceeds its ability to be able to adjust to. So key elements of disasters is it's usually all of a sudden. Nobody plans for a disaster, okay. It causes significant harm. It overwhelms the local capacity of the environment. It requires external assistance. That's why I have all those UNICEF, the UN, coming in. That's why some countries will send some 1 or 2 help to other countries facing disasters at the time being and all of that. Okay, so types of disasters, we have natural disasters, and under natural disasters we have things like earthquakes, we have floods, we have hurricanes, we have volcanic eruptions, we have droughts, okay. Other ones, you can also have landslides, you can have tsunamis, you can have wildfires, you can have tornadoes, Therefore, man-made disasters, you can have industrial accidents like chemical spills, oil spills, fire markets, market fires, they can have building fires, you can have transportation accidents, that's all those road accidents, nuclear accidents, it could be pollution, it could be dam collapsing, it could be structural collapse. Okay, so they now brought another classification here. This one is complex or socio-political disasters. Those ones, they arise from social or political or economic instability. Let's say things like armed conflicts, terrorist attacks, civil unrest, refugee crisis, genocide, okay, just like what is happening in Nigeria, okay, genocide. Then ethnic violence, okay, this is when a particular set of people will try to cleanse some other set of people, which is never supposed to. All right, still building myself. When we build ourselves to an extent where if we talk, a lot of people can be able to listen, we'll go into decision making. All right, so health effects of these disasters on children, we have the physical or medical effects. You can have injuries. Disasters could cause malnutrition in children due to food shortage. They could expose these children to infections like diarrhea, cholera, malaria, respiratory infection, because the living conditions will not be suitable. They could cause dehydration, exposure related illnesses, exacerbation of chronic illnesses. Sometimes the children already have some 1 or 2 pending illnesses. If a disaster comes in, you only exacerbate it, okay. They could cause poisoning because maybe the water they are drinking is no longer safe. They could cause disabilities from injuries. They could also cause deaths. Then the psychological effects of disasters on children. We have the immediate psychological reactions. like fear, anxiety, shock, confusion. They could cry, they could cling, they could regress, Then sleep disturbances, right, like nightmares, insomnia, Then short-term effect is acute stress disorder, separation anxiety, loss of appetite, irritability and aggression, difficulties concentrating. Then long-term psychological effects of disasters on children, we have the post-traumatic stress disorder, okay, that's a PTSD. Then we have depression, we have chronic anxiety, behavioral problems, social withdrawals, and developmental delays. So I've answered a very big question, trying to define disaster, okay, types of disasters, and actually, health and psychological effects of disasters on children.